Hey, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach, every week coming into your life to multiply your life and your money and your business. And here's what I know about a lot of people, including me. You may have the energy, you may have the drive, you may have the confidence, and that's all I started with 9 years ago when I began building this business. But you don't have the structure, you don't have the systems, you don't have the methodology. And so today I'm going to show you how to go from zero to 200,000 a month. I'm going to show you how to build this $1 million machine that helps you scale out and make you bigger than you. And at the end of the day, isn't that what everybody's looking for? How do you increase your impact through systems and structures and processes? So today on Super Coach, we're talking $1 million machine. Come on, baby, let's go. Hey guys, this is Coach Michael Burt. I am so glad you joined me for Super Coach. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe a good coach will have conversations with you don't want to have, make you do some things you don't want to do, help you become something you didn't think you could become. You see, you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. You can't reach your own potential without the help of another person helping you break through those ceilings of success. I'm Coach Michael Burt, and I'm going to find the kryptonite in your life, and I'm going to do it on this show, Super Coach. Welcome everybody out there. Happy Tuesday afternoon. Coach Michael Burt in the studio today. Here at the Greatness Factory. Step into your greatness. Today I had meetings built on the architecture of a new Greatness Factory. And man, you ain't going to go to this place. Idea Spa, 100-person training room, rooftop experience, studio for podcasts, incubation room for your dreams. If you're serious about getting better, James Jarrett, Shane Ray, Jason Gully, Steve Spray, Richard Neese. If you're serious about your potential, you got to step into the Greatness Factory. And I want to take you back a little bit in time. 9 years ago, I was a high school women's basketball coach, Melinda Kelly. Thank you for signing up for Monster Producer today, girl. I knew we was going to get you. I can't wait to work with you. I was a women's basketball coach, okay? You may have heard my story. I started coaching at 15 years old. I was an elementary coach at 18. I was at the second largest high school in Tennessee at 19. I became the head coach, Andrew Alexander, at 22. By 25, I began to build a little machine. And I was taking business concepts and coming over to the athletic world and inner engineering my players to win. So what I was really doing is I was studying how to grow the whole person, body, mind, heart, spirit. And I was bringing it from the business world over here. And what happened is our players began to win a lot. We began building our own little Greatness Factory, right? Andy Warner, right? Jason Gully. And so I was building this little machine, and that little machine started taking off. And then I said, well, what if I go and speak to people over here about my machine? And businesses begin to say, will you come and coach our people and show them how to build their own machine? And they started paying me money to do that. So now I'm a coach that's winning games, and I'm a speaker. And I'm making some side money, and it's all good. And then I retire from athletic coaching. I was making about $60,000 a year, I think $2,500. I was working 80 hours a week every week. Didn't have any family, didn't have any friends, didn't have anything because I was working constantly. But I built a machine, Roy Frazier. I built a machine, Willem Visser. And so then I said, what if I took my little machine over here into the business world? But unlike I had built my machine over here of winning, I had not built a machine over in the business world. All I had was my confidence and my energy and my past and my structures. And I did not have all of the things I needed. I didn't have a brand identity. I didn't have a selling or distribution system. I didn't have $1 million follow-up. I didn't have an experience. I had none of the things I have today. I did not have any structure. And so I didn't have this machine. Well, over the last 9 years, I've been building this machine. And the machine, we now call it the $1 million machine. It's going to produce about $2.4 million of revenue this year. And you say, well, that's not a lot in comparison to $100 million. But when you start with zero and you can get it to where it's building $200,000 a month in sales, you got at least something working. You know, the average business, 96% of businesses will never break $1 million revenue. So I'm not saying I'm a $100 million company, but to go from a high school basketball coach to where I am today, it's a long way, brothers and sisters. So I said, man, I got to help other people build their machine. And I created structures and programs called Monster Producer and my online academies. And so in today's program, my objective is to show you a system and a structure to make you bigger than you. Because now we're attracting a lot more volume. Now we're signing up 40 to 50 customers a month. Now we're starting to build a sales machine and an operations machine. And so what I'm trying to do is build a system of efficiency. And if you have not watched the show on the founder, on McDonald's, on Ray Kroc, I took pages and pages of notes this weekend because I said, I want a little system of efficiency. McDonald's is one of the most efficient companies in the world. They scaled it to huge size, billions of dollars of volume. So the way my mind works, and the reason you need to know this, is because when I was a coach, everything was systematic. We had a system for offense, a system for defense, a system for how we prepare, a system for how we practice, a system for how we warm up. And then I got into the business world. Nobody had any systems. They don't have any structures. All they got is their energy and their confidence, which you got to have, but you need a structure to go from here to here. Okay? And from coaching thousands of people around the country, I can clearly see you don't have a structure. You don't have a systematic way in which you get customers. You don't have a brand identity. You don't have a distribution system to push your message out to the market. You don't have a 7-touch follow-up. You don't create an experience that drives referrals. You don't have a person of interest marketing strategy. You don't have any of this stuff. And therefore, guess what? You ain't got $1 million machine. You got a little bitty lawnmower machine that's barely clicking along. It's okay, because that's what I had when I started. And so basically now I've built a little system of how we do all of these things, and that's what we're going to be covering today. And I've got the benefit of helping you craft your brand identity, what you believe, what you have, figuring out who wants it. How do you sell it to the world through either relationship selling or attraction marketing? How do you build a follow-up mechanism that gets people to come back? How do you get more people in a circus, man? And then how do you create an experience that kicks off referrals? And so many referrals are coming to you that you can't even handle all of them. You got to continue to build sales staff, continue to build people, which is exactly where we are today. So you may be saying, did this happen in a day? No, it didn't happen in a day. It happened with long obedience in the same direction. It happened with me grinding it out and learning and recalibrating and figuring things out and failing. Now we're just starting to build this $1 million machine. Now here's the beauty thing. Once you get it to $1 million machine, guess what you won't start thinking? How do we get it to a $5 million machine, a $10 million machine, a $100 million machine? And you need goals so big that people are out there actively trying to take it from you, keep you from getting it. That's how big your goals need to be. So today on Super Coach, guys, we're going to show you what our little $1 million machine is. It ain't little no more. And how we help you build yours. Let me give you some kryptonite in this first segment. You got the energy, but you don't have the structure. If you could raise your hand, just hit that like button. Hit the smiley button. Hit the frown button. I don't care what you hit. Hit some kind of button if this is you. You have the energy, but you do not have the structure or the system to drive consistent sales. And that is your problem. You got the energy. Y'all jacked up on Red Bull, Slam, 5 Hour. I don't know what it is. You jacked up. You want to go do it. You ready to climb the mountain, but you ain't got the tools in your tool bag to climb up to the mountain. So you know what you need? You need a good coach who will give you the systems and structures, and that's what we're covering. When we come back, I'm going to give you 3 of the big 5 in the $1 million selling machine. The $1 million machine, how you get bigger than you. Come on back in segment 2. This is Super Coach. I'm Michael Burt. Hey guys, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. I'm so excited about bringing my biggest coaching program, Monster Producer. That's right, the legendary creatures, to Knoxville, Tennessee and Chattanooga, Tennessee. What will we be covering in Monster Producer? This is a monthly, systematic, live coaching program with high levels of accountability with other like-minded monsters just like you, of people who would like to dominate their markets. We're going to be covering how do you explain your services, which will drive up your close ratios, give you more confidence, help you meet strangers and sell to new markets. April 26th is when I'm coming. Why don't you raise your status? Invite some other people to come with you to Monster Producer. Like gravitates toward like. Association breeds assimilation. The only people that come to me are people that want more time, more money, more freedom, and more impact. I want a monster life, don't you? April 26th, Knoxville, Tennessee, 9 to 10:30 in the morning. Chattanooga in the afternoon from 1:30 to 3. Come on down and be a Monster Producer. Go to info@coachburt.com. Email us and tell me I'm in, Coach. Put me in, Coach. I'm coming to see you in April. Welcome back, Super Coach. $1 million machine. Doesn't matter to me. It can be a $1 billion machine. Be a multi-million dollar machine. Be a $10 million machine. But you need a machine. You got the energy, but you don't have the structure. And when you're thinking about this, Ronnie Martin, Micah Burgess, Gabriel Fancher, Dale Childress Jr., you know what everybody needs? They need structure. They got the dominant focus. They got where they wanted to go. What they don't have is the system to get them there. And so what we're talking today is how do you build a $1 million machine? And let me tell you one machine you want working as the heat pumps up. That's just called aloha.com. My man Shane Ray. If you hadn't talked to Shane Ray, just call aloha.com. Get your system ready for the summer today for $79. Come on, man. Come on. I got to coach him up in raising them prices. He's giving it away. You don't want that thing breaking down. He waives the service fee. Tell him you know Coach Michael Burt and the big kahuna of comfort will come to your house and service you like you ain't never been serviced before. You know what I'm talking about? Now, we're talking $1 million machine today because I asked you to hit the button, hit the like button, hit the scary button. I'm going to hit the button right now, man. I'm hitting it myself because let me tell you this. When I started my business, all I had was confidence and energy. Confidence and energy gets you in the door, but it don't get you to millions of dollars, man. You got to have something underneath the hood, right, Christy Morgan? You got to have something that people want. So let's think about this $1 million machine, and let's put it into 3 buckets. One bucket is what we're going to call brand identity, is you have a clear and unfiltered view of what it is you have to offer the world that is unique and differentiated. You know what it is you believe. You know why you believe it. You know what it is you do. You know how you do it different. You know everybody you've done it for. And I could put you in any room in the world and you could articulate this is what my brand is. My brand is boom. My brand is this. My brand is greatness. My brand is consistency. My brand is this. And that's called brand identity. So first part of this $1 million machine is saying, this is what I got. I spent my whole life putting it together. You're going to want it, and I know I've got clarity about who wants it. I got it, and you're going to want it. We call that the explanation of service. Here's what we believe. Here's why we believe it. Here's what it is we do. Here's how we do it different. Here's everybody we're doing it for. If we could do it for you, what would stop us from getting started? Now, the reason this is critical is because I got to know what kind of special I got. Now, I can't tell you how many people I coach in commoditized industries. And you know what that means? That means there's too many people competing for the same space with the same products. Just today, I was coaching mortgage people, insurance people, healthcare people, printing company. You can't get in the door with just a commodity. So you got to articulate you got something special, unique, differentiated, and other people are going to want it. But if you don't know what it is you got and who wants it, there ain't no ball game here. So part of the $1 million machine is to understand this. The purpose of any business is to create a customer. The way I create customers is by solving problems. The way I solve problems is by having a unique ability or unique monster ability that I've got that nobody else has. I'm bringing unique, differentiated, fresh something to the market. Fresh meat that people would be interested in, okay? That's my brand identity. And if I don't have this, all I'm selling is a commodity. If all you're selling is a mortgage, it's just a manufactured product sent through an assembly line to solve a problem for a person that can't buy a house with cash. That is then sold to the secondary market. There ain't nothing sexy about that. So what you got to do is you got to sex it up, and the way you sex it up is this is what I believe, and you sex it up with an EOS. So the first part of this is understanding, number one, you got a product or service that other people want. I've created all kinds of things in the world, and sometimes I would create something that I thought people would want, but absolutely nobody wanted it. I created something that absolutely nobody wanted. I thought people would want it. Like I wrote a book once called The Anatomy of Winning, and I thought every coach in America who has never won a championship is going to run down and buy this book. We can't even give it away. We still got thousands of copies here today. Now, you would think people that won championships would want to know how to win a championship from somebody who's won championships. Can't even give them away, man. Can't even give it away. And so we can't build this $1 million machine, Amy Rocket, Peter O'Neill, Ronnie Martin. We can't build our $1 million machine until we got some clarity about our brand identity, what it is we got and who wants it, and we got a product or service that other people that's in demand. Now, right now, we're in an inflated market where people are selling things and believing that they're really good, but they're just people want it so badly that they're going to buy it. We got a 4% interest rate on mortgage, less than 4% yesterday in mortgages. I was in Grand Rapids, Michigan last week. There were 2,500 real estate agents and only 1,200 listings. So somebody's going to get the listing. That don't mean they're any good. It just means there's a product that people want right now. Rates go back up, they may not want that product. And so for you, first step of the $1 million machine is you got to have something valuable to say, and you got to have somebody to say it to. So I got a good explanation of service. I got clear brand identity on what I believe. Now, once I know what I got, once I know how to articulate it, now I got to distribute it to the market. And so that moves us to the selling system. So the second part of the $1 million machine is how do I take this and distribute it to the world? I can distribute it one-to-one. Billy Lunsford, Richard Hodges. I can distribute it one-to-one, but man, is that a slow process. I got to cold call somebody. I got to follow up with them. I got to touch them 7 times. I got to see if they're interested. Man, you tired already? What if this? How do I reach thousands of people in a day? How do I sell 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 people at a time? We're signing up about 40 new people, 40 new monster producers a month. And that's great. How do I sign up 400 a month? How do I sign up 4,000 a month? How do I sign up 40,000 a month? You understand what I'm saying? And I can't do a selling one-to-one. I can assure you that. So what you see me do is I sell it, I distribute it in podcast, videos, databases, large events. And what I'm trying to do is get more people in the circus. Get more people to the tent. And so what I use is a lot of attraction strategies to pull people in the door. Now, a lot of people look at me and they say, well, I'm going to go do my own podcast. I'm going to do my own Facebook videos. And that's all well. But what if you don't have step number 1, Jack? You ain't got anything valuable to say. So you're doing Facebook Lives, but you got nothing to say. You don't have a point of view. You don't have clarity of message. You don't say it in a way that gets people excited. So you're just out there trying to replicate and mimic what somebody else is doing, which I give you credit for. But you have not taken the time to really refine your explanation of service. So your $1 million machine can't get going. So first you got to have something to say, and then you got to have somebody to say it to. So there's 2 ways to sell this thing. Right, Willem? One way is attraction marketing, which is out of my book, Person of Interest, this book. How do you attract more people to you, to the circus? And 2, Carrie Ann Sear, relationship selling. So if you're using a combination of both of these, the relationship selling model is I got a hit list of new people every week I'm calling on. Mine's 10 a week, minimum. I got a farm club of people that have indicated interest that I'm trying to close. That's where $1 million follow-up comes in. I've got my biggest customers that I'm trying to love on and spend time with and give them what they need. That's my top 25. I've got new customers that we're signing up every single week that we're trying to onboard, okay? And I've got my top 25 that I'm loving on. So I've got all of these categories that I'm relationship selling. Then if you add the attraction marketing, now I'm doing podcasts, database blasts, social media, big events, and I'm pulling people into me. Okay? I'm pulling people into me. Then I've got them in the circus. Now, when you study P.T. Barnum, who was one of the greatest people in the world at pulling people into the circus, He can't sell you any popcorn. He can't get you riding on the elephant. He can't get you doing all the things at the circus until what? Until he gets you to the circus. So he used every strategy he could to get you in. So if you watch what I do, I'm using multiple strategies at one time in collusion with each other to get people in the door. And that is part of the $1 million machine, because guess what? It's created leads on top of leads on top of leads on top of leads. Now here's the deal. I'm not buying those leads. A lot of you out there are buying leads. I'm not buying leads. I'm saying I'm going to take a message and I'm going to shove it out to the market, and I'm going to attract people to me. We're going to hand it off to a sales team, and we're going to work. Now, if we're studying system of efficiency, how do we close people the first time that they come in the door to the circus? Then how do we optimize that relationship so they're not only coming into the circus, they're also buying popcorn and candy and this, and they're buying tickets to the next circus? That's optimization, system of efficiency. So I want to stop right here and ask you two things. Number one, Todd McNutt, Jeremy Winger. Okay, here's what I'm going to ask you. Number one, do you have something really valuable to say? And number two, do you have a distribution system? Brand identity, selling system, attraction marketing. This is part of your $1 million machine that we're building out. Let me give you some kryptonite before we head into the final segment. You have gaps in your $1 million machine you don't see. I can look at your $1 million machine and say, you ain't got a $1 million machine, you got a $100,000 machine. You got a $50,000 machine. You ain't even got a machine, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm finding and identifying those gaps as a coach, and I'm going, look, you got 2 or 3 chinks here. If you just fix this. Like this morning, I was on the phone with mortgage people, and they were saying, man, I'm too busy, I can't get to this, I can't get to this. Look, don't ever let busy get in the way of strategy. Too busy is going to get you doing the exact same thing you're currently doing. Step back, check the oil on your machine, and say, if I just fix these 2 or 3 parts on my machine, I could produce a whole lot more than what I'm currently producing. Come on back in segment 3. I'm going to give you the final 3 pieces of your $1 million machine, and I'm putting this system and structure together, and I'm building an engine for you, man. It's just going to keep producing and producing and producing. How do you make yourself bigger than you? Come on back in segment 3. My name is Coach Michael Burt, and I have a very basic premise. I believe everybody needs a coach in life. Every single week I come to you, multiply your life and your money and your business. It's about seeing something through to its logical conclusion. It's about going from a little baby star to a big star and practicing and getting better and digging in and fighting through. I see work as the distribution channel for your God-given talents. How many people believe behind every great number 1 is a great number 2? I wrote that little book called Changing Lives Through Coaching because I believe what? A good coach can change your life. Welcome back, Super Coach, $1 million machine. You may have the energy, you may have the structure, you may have the energy and the confidence, but you don't have the structure. If you just got a monster producer, I'm coming to Knoxville, Tennessee in the morning, guys, 9 to 10:30. If you're in Knoxville, come on down and see me. Provision Learning Center. We're going to have a full house, I think. 40 or 50 people is what they're telling me. First time I'm coming to Knoxville. I'm coming back every single month. I'm going to be teaching people that $1 million machine. Then I'm dropping down to Chattanooga, Tennessee in the afternoon, 1:30 to 3. We taking the circus on the road. If it's successful, why wouldn't you take it on the road, Jack? For you, you got something successful you won't take on the road, see? Then we're taking it to Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta, Huntsville, Jackson, Tennessee. And if you're ever going to go big time, you got to take the circus on the road. What is Trump out doing? What's Trump out doing every weekend besides going to Mar-a-Lago? You know what he's doing? Taking a circus on the road. One of the greatest shows I watch right now is a Showtime show called The Circus, the greatest political show on earth. And it follows the candidates. It follows a documentary style. And I want to talk to you about this. It's a documentary style that goes behind the scenes with the candidates who are trying to run for president. Man, it is fascinating on how they take a message, their little machine, and pump it out, right? And now that Trump's president, what's he doing? He's taking that message out on the weekends. He's taking his message out on the road, which is what I'm doing with Monster Producer. So now I'm teaching in Murfreesboro, Nashville, Cool Springs, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Tennessee. Next thing you'll see me teaching in Jackson, Tennessee. Dallas is a hot market I'm looking at. Huntsville, Chicago, Atlanta. I'm just going to take this little machine all over the world. Then we start saying, how do we get people in it online, which we can do. So if you're not in that, if you want to come to Knoxville, Tennessee to see me tomorrow morning, info@coachburt.com. First one's free on me, man. First one's always free on me if you want to come check it out, see if you like it. What do you think I'm teaching people? $1 Million Machine. So what do we say in segment one? Number one, you got to have something valuable to say. That's your explanational service. Number two, you got to have a selling system. So you got to have your brand identity clear. Then you got to have your distribution system. You can attract them in, Carrie Ann Sear, Jason Surratt. You attract them in through attraction marketing, which is a lot of what I do. Or you sell them one-to-one relationship selling, which is what I do too. Now, once you draw them into the circus and they're in the tent, now they're interested, but maybe they're not buying. So now you got to add a couple things to the equation. You got to add the $1 million follow-up. And the $1 million follow-up is where you're willing to go, 7 great touches in a systematic way to convert a prospect to a buyer. Most people are not going 7 touches. How many leads are you losing today? Top producers, I'm speaking directly to you. How many leads how much money are you losing by not being able to follow up with people? Not follow up with people correctly. How many people who are not in sales are not following up on your dreams? Not following up on, okay? Don't think $1 million follow-up is just in sales. You're not following up on the dreams you said you were going to do. You're not following up on money that's on the table. So part of the $1 million machine is having an unbelievable follow-up mechanism. 7 great touches to convert. Now, once you get them in the circus, what else can you sell them? Most statistics tell us 5.7 referrals off every customer that you get. So my question to you would be, once you get them in the door, do you have bait to get them in the door? That's the cheese on the mousetrap. Do you have a reason to come back? Do you give them something to talk about? And you're optimizing that relationship. Melinda said she needs to come to the circus every year and bring a friend. Yes, you do. And once you get in, we got popcorn and candy. Bearded lady. 165-year-old woman. That's what P.T. Barnum used to promise, right? Firewalkers. Tight ropes. You know what those are for you? Products. So a person comes into my $1 million machine and they don't have any money. What do I say? I got a $25 book I can sell you. I got a $9.99 download I can sell you. When I pushed out and sold Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, my book, and I gave away coaching and all of that, listen, I didn't want the money from the $25 book I was going to make. You know what I wanted? The leads, the information, the interest, the attraction. So once I get the attraction to the circus, how do I follow up with you like a machine? Right? How do I get you 7 good follow-ups? And most people, this is where the wheels fall off the wagon in their machine. I got you in the door, but I can't get you back. I got you interested, but I can't get you back. You don't know what's going to get a person back. Videos, follow-ups. I mean, what is it? What's the cheese on the mousetrap? And then you finish with this. Now that I got you in the door and you're at the circus and you're inside and you're buying a few things, how do I get you to go tell 5.7 friends that they need to come to the circus too? I don't know if any of you have ever gone to a great concert at some point in your life. And you went first time just you and your wife, you and somebody else, and then the next time you went back, you took 10 friends with you because the concert was so good. Getting them in the door is one thing. Getting them to come back with friends is the ultimate goal. So the way I've grown Monster Producer at such a rapid rate is not only am I attracting people to the circus, the people I get in the circus are going and inviting other people. The way I'm getting 40, 50 people in Monster tomorrow in Knoxville or Chattanooga is because they're telling people, and they're telling people, and they're telling people. And that's what you want, is you want 5.7 people coming back to the circus. This sounds like a book I'm going to write. You got to get people to the circus, and then you got to give them something. You got to have something to sell them, okay? So let's review this, and then I'm going to get you out of here. Number one, the show is to give you a system and structure to make you bigger than you. Because I'm a former coach, I think in systems and structures. What I do know is that we got to create structures to accelerate your growth. I've built a structure that's now producing, $200,000 in revenue a month. That ain't even close to what it could be. What if it was producing $2 million a month, which some people have? The 5 parts or the 4 parts of my structure is I got a great explanation of service. That's my brand identity. I got a great selling system and attraction and relationship. I got $1 million follow-up, Richard Neese, that is part of this system. And I create experience that drives 5.7 referrals by getting my clients to a much better place. So what's the action from you today? If you are out there and you're jacked up on energy, but you don't have the structure, you got to get in a coaching program, man. I was looking at what we do for our monster producers. They come to class, then they get the replay, then they get a condensed version, then they have accountability school every week. Now we're doing mastermind sessions. We're rolling out monster retreats. Man, there is so much. It's very systematic. You know what I'm trying to build? A system of efficiency. A system of efficiency. So I got my own $1 million machine. That's what you need to do next. Let me give you some kryptonite, guys. It's been a great session today. Are you building out your $1 million machine? Listen, I'm going to be on Good Day New York in a few weeks. New York City. Right, we're taking the circus to New York City, guys. Country boy comes to town. And you know what I'm going to be talking about? The $1 million machine. Everybody needs a coach in life. Everybody needs. I pound that message home. What's my kryptonite? You don't deliver on what you promise. Therefore, there is no comebacks or no referral. You get them to the circus, you just can't get them back, and they don't bring any friends. Guys, every single week, I come into your life to multiply life, money, business. Shout out to Charlie Davidson, Scott Rouse, Richard Neese, Travis Perouse, Melinda, Billy Lunsford, all my friends out there. Guys, I believe everybody needs a good coach in life, Shane Ray. I believe a good coach can change your whole deal, man. Confidence, structure, clarity, accountability. If you don't have a good coach, it's time to start building. You know what's going on with your machine? It ain't well oiled. And you ain't getting people to the circus. And you can't get them to come back and bring friends. You need a system and structure to do this. And I didn't have this 9 years ago. But I did have my energy. And I did have my confidence. And if you just start there, and then I did have my quantity, John Ashford. I had my quantity. And the more quantity I pushed, the more I figured out, this is worth keeping, man. This was good. This worked. That did not work. But this worked. Let me provide those structures for you guys. I believe everybody needs a coach in life. A good coach can change your life. And thank you, my friends, for joining me at the Greatness Factory for $1 Million Machine and Super Coach. Have a great week, everybody. See you in Knoxville and Chattanooga tomorrow. Hey guys, Coach Michael Burt. I'm the Super Coach, and you know what I believe? I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. I also believe a monster producer is a legendary creature that combines multiple skill sets to dominate a market. And that's why I'm bringing my biggest coaching program, my monthly, consistent, every 30-day coaching program to both Knoxville, Tennessee, and Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's right, the Super Coach is coming to Knoxville every single month, so I can get 30 to 40 high achievers in a room and coach them for an hour and a half every month on what? How to better explain their services, how to work a selling system, how to have $1 million follow-up, how to create an experience that drives 5.7 referrals. You see, the average growth in Monster Producer, my big coaching program, is 43% per year. That means the people we're coaching are growing their business that much. I'll bring the energy. I'll bring the structure. I'll bring the accountability. All you got to do is bring yourself. Beginning April 26th, I'm coming to Knoxville, Tennessee and Chattanooga, Tennessee for Monster Producer. Will you be there?